Welcome to another edition of Faith in Action with myself, Robbie Froley from UCB Ireland. We are in Studio 1 here in our studios in Dublin. And today I'm joined by a special guest. Now, for the last 12 weeks, this young lady has been working behind the scenes here at UCB Ireland. She is a college student. She is studying in the world of media. We'll find out a little bit more about that. But she is also a very dynamic girl in her faith. We've been talking about faith in action, about the past, about who has incredible stories of faith in action. Only last month we talked about St. Patrick. Today, though, it's my pleasure to welcome to the program Anita. How are you?
I'm good.
You didn't know this was going to happen, did
No.
you? This is Anita all the time. She smiles all day long and laughs all day long. And it's been a pleasure to have her here at UCB for the last, it's 12 weeks now, isn't it? Thereabouts?
Yeah.
And it's really just the work you've been doing has been amazing. But the more I began to think about faith in action, the more I began to think about today's people, real people in action, real faith in action. So first of all, I'm going to ask you this question. What does faith in action mean to you?
Faith in action means to me trusting in God even in my uncertainties.
Okay.
So like an example for me would be when I was picking the course that I was going to do. Originally, I was very set on accounting and finance, business, kind of businessy or marketing. And like in my last year of secondary school, that was kind of like my interests pivoted all of a sudden to like media and production. And then like I had people around me who had equipment that would be like, oh, take this, do something with this, use this. So I'd be watching videos, practicing with cameras and stuff. And then I changed my whole CAO to like media production instead of business because I knew in my heart I wouldn't be satisfied with that.
Okay. But
I really believe it was God that led me in that direction. Like, and even before that, in church I serve. Before I was serving in children's ministry, so helping out with children. And then like my time kind of finished then and I was within the youth ministry. And then they were looking for more volunteers for media team. And that's how I joined, just helping out little by little. So, and then that was in and around the same time my interests kind of pivoted into media and production. So I really believe that was God-led because if it was up to me, I don't think I would have been here. I don't think so.
You would have been in an accountant's office somewhere.
Yeah.
It is funny when we get to this stage. Now, of course, there's a massive age difference between you and me.
Yeah.
And I say this on a regular basis. I don't think... I probably faced different challenges when I was your age, but not the kind of challenges that you guys face with, the age you are, with the industry that's around, with technology the way it is, and with information overload. It was an interesting move for you to go into media.
Yeah.
Was it because you want to bring something different to media, or is it just go, no, this is what I'm made to do?
That's a good question. I would think yes to both of those.
Okay.
Like, I enjoy like helping. Like, I love helping others and being there. Not necessarily in front of the camera. I'm not used to like being in front of the camera, but I like the behind the scenes, especially with my church. That's how it all began. Like, the behind the scenes helping out, and it can get intense with a big team. So like I enjoyed that because I felt like I was a part of a family.
Okay.
So that's how it started for me. But in terms of like media, that was something I was conflicted by because I didn't know if I wanted to be in a secular space, which I feel like I'm called to more Christian, like bringing more Christianity back into media, and because I feel like there's just one agenda that's being pushed that's not necessarily good or not necessarily bad, but I know from my experience with media in general, I feel like I have to filter out what I consume, and what is being pushed out is not necessarily benefiting me. Or like, I even see my younger siblings when they watch all these, like, they say things like brain rot and like the lingo, like I don't even understand, but I don't know if that, like, in a way it's not helpful for them. Like, I've seen, like, they just get so distracted, and I notice myself, I get so distracted, but there are content that I can consume that is edifying and encouraging for me. So that, like, I kind of want to push more of that, more faith-based content, more Christ-centered content. I feel like sometimes, like, it's just not, for me anyways, from my experience, you get so consumed in it that you don't, like, sometimes it can push you backwards in your faith.
Right.
Because, like, for me, since I grew up in an age of, like, technology and social media, that's like a big thing in my generation. Everyone likes to care what people think and everything like that. You start comparing yourself when you're on social media. So, like, and I think that's why, especially in my generation, it's really important to filter out your consumption of content.
Is that a real thing? You mentioned scrolling through and likes, and is it really true that if it's not liked, you feel rejected? If somebody doesn't like the fact that you've put up a photograph of your puppy dog or your latest, I don't know, creation that you've done, and no one likes it, you feel hurt and rejected and sidelined. Is that a reality?
For me personally, I don't post that much.
Okay.
I think I have like maybe like 2 or 3 posts on Instagram.
Really?
Yes.
But that's highly unusual, isn't it?
Yeah. When I first posted my first picture or like carousel, that was when, like, you're looking for the notifications. It's not even necessarily I care what people think.
Right.
But you're just constantly checking if people have liked it. And I don't know why that is. And which is why I just decided to just, like, keep it low key.
Wow.
I prefer to post on, like, the stories, or, like, because it's, like, momentarily it'll go in 24 hours. But in terms of that, like, for me, I didn't really have, like, a negative outlook on it because I never really posted. But when I did post, you do, like, people comment on your posts as well. So, like, people be like, oh, you're so gorgeous, oh, that's so good, like, that's amazing. And then, like, it would only be a few people and you'd be like, oh, why didn't this person, or like that. You just subconsciously, and I think it's within the mind, like, the battle of the mind, like, you battle with conflicting thoughts. Like, obviously people have insecurities and stuff, and I feel like social media, like, eats on that.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It really feeds on that. It feeds on people's desire to be wanted and loved.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether there's something that me as a generation, has done in such a way that we've not allowed technology. You can't stop technology. It's always going to be running forward, and you got to embrace it for what it is. But getting to a stage where actually there's a generation that needs to be accepted by people they don't even know.
Yeah.
And we all use social media. We use it here all the time at UCB, and we hopefully use it for a right reason.
Yeah.
And this is part of faith in action. This is what we're talking about. And it is so easy to get into that whole kind of scrolling thing. What's happening? And it might not even be anything to do with, oh, I've posted this. Do people like me?
Exactly.
It is so easy to get to that. How do you, as a young woman, stay the right side of that life? And I don't mean the moral. What I mean is the safe side of that world.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely finding community.
Okay.
Like, in my church, there's multiple youth groups. So there's, like, Ignite All Nations and Impact All Nations. And so when you're surrounded by like-minded people, subconsciously, like, even, like, I want to be able to feel comfortable giving my phone to someone if they need something. Like, because I know, like, I've witnessed, like, some people not feeling comfortable sharing their phone with somebody. And so, like, they don't want to share, like, they don't want people to see what their content looks like.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
like, for me, when you're surrounded with people, subconsciously, you start wanting things that are of God.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, especially with church and, like, the youth group, like, we all, because we're all striving for the same thing, it's not that, it's not as hard as it is.
Right. Okay.
So it becomes a little bit easier for you when you're surrounded with people, and in turn online, you're like, oh, I can't listen to this, I can't listen. And actually on Instagram, I try to, like, if there's content that I'm not really interested in, there's like, you press the 3 dots and say not interested.
Okay.
And so, like, there's like a filter, but I don't know how effective that is, because I do that all the time and I still get like random content.
Right.
But before, when I did it, it would work and it would clear out. Like, I would start liking a bunch of Christian, like, posts, and then my whole feed would be Christian. Because, like, Instagram, the algorithm will see, oh, she likes this content, we're going to push more of this content.
Okay.
So that's how I kind of filtered out my my feed. But in terms of social media and content, like, I don't know, like, when I try to focus more on God, like, when I'm trying to grow my relationship with God,
Mm-hmm.
I tend to just fix my eyes on Jesus. So, like, I'll take in, like, Bible teachings, like, I'll be watching Bible teachings and stuff, like, and then the algorithm will be like, oh, what's going on? So, like, it will project more of the content that you're consuming, but then at the same time, it will also start bringing back things from before to see if you'll go back to that content. But usually you just, like, I just say I'm not interested, not
You
interested.
really have to be on top of the game, don't you?
Yeah.
You really do. It's trying to grab you in.
Yeah.
You see, this is something that's, for me, really encouraging and very refreshing. And I know that we talk about it a lot here at UCB. Of course, you know about Gen Z and
Mm-hmm.
full access, the radio station, and we talk a lot about that. And because there is a real desire
Yeah.
in your generation,
Yeah.
a Gen Z generation. The way I describe it is, and please help me here, if I'm wrong, tell me, okay? The way I describe it is, your generation and your age group go, don't tell me the fluff, show me the reality.
Yeah.
And that's really, really encouraging. And it's an important thing from my side of a generation to be able to go, actually, we have to continually fan into flame what's going on in you, not put it out.
Yeah.
Because we have this idea of what, are you walking with the Lord, sister? Are you running for Jesus? And this is all language from my youth. And you think, what does that mean? What does, walking in faith mean in this day and age? And you're telling it now. You're going, making a conscious decision to go, actually, I'm going to press the 3 dots and say, no, I don't want that anymore.
Yeah.
I want this. Being in the right culture, being with people. And I love what you said about being comfortable to hand somebody your phone.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That is enormous.
Yeah.
And I know that people might turn around and, guys, I'm not talking about all of the wrong stuff that people might look at. I'm talking about being comfortable enough to say, sure, no problem, you can have that because it's safe.
Yeah.
Is that a family thing for you? Is that a household, or is that just Anita?
I think, like, because, like, me and my sister are kind of like the older sisters for my younger sisters, so we kind of do that for them.
Okay.
But for me, for myself, I think it's more of me, because, like, I had the freedom to the full extent of social media and the internet when I was younger. So I kind of, and, like, my mom and dad would be like, oh, don't watch this, don't watch that. Like, that's not good for you. And my dad would always encourage me to read. So it would be like, what is this going to benefit you in life? Like, always on technology. So, like, me and my sister spent more time outside. But now that technology and social media grew, it's kind of like, I decided to make that conscious conscious decision, as well as my sister. She's a twin. I'm a twin. I'm a twin, sorry. So
if you saw both of them together, you would not be able to separate them. You really wouldn't. Yeah. I think if you get to know you, you would, of course.
Yeah.
But if walking down the street, the two of you are just identical twins. It's got to be hard, isn't it?
Yeah. It is hard. Like, sometimes I'm lazy, or like, especially music is a really big influence in me.
Okay.
And I know how it will affect me. If I listen to a lot of sad songs, I become really sad.
Oh, wow, okay.
So like, for me, I was like, I always want to be joyful. I want to be cheery. Like, I don't want to be in a sad state all the time. So I always have to filter out, like, especially with social media, there's always music behind any piece of content you're receiving.
Yeah.
So even with that, even if it's just a simple dance video and it's really sad, it makes me really sad. So now I just like want to hear upbeat, cheerful, like happy music always. So for me, I love Christian music. I know Full Access is really big on that as well. So like put on Full Access instead of like whatever's playing on normal radio stations, or I have a Christian playlist on Spotify. I click onto that, and it just puts me in a good mood, and it helps when it's sunny outside.
It does help when the weather's good. It really does help. There is for me, going back to last month, we talked about Patrick.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't realise that, actually when we're shooting last week, Anita is the other side of the camera. Normally, she's the other side of the camera, okay? So this is a kind of a very different place for her to be. And we were shooting about Patrick. We were talking about, this guy who came back here after being held captive here, and he came back and he brought the gospel message to Ireland and walked the length and breadth of this nation with the gospel. And that's faith in action.
Yeah.
And you look at the gospel, you look at Hebrews, the book of Hebrews, and you read in Hebrews 12, the beginning of Hebrews 12, where it says, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders us and entangles us." And there was a great guy who used to say, whenever you see a therefore in the Bible, find out what it's there for. So therefore, well, what's that there for? Well, let's look back to see. And chapter 11 is all about these wonderful people.
Yeah.
All about Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and Noah and all of these people, and Moses and all of these people who stood out and said, I'm going to do something. But actually, they were just normal people.
Yeah.
Do you ever get to a stage, as someone your age, do you ever get to a stage and you go, one day I will be like her, or one day I want to be like that? Or do you accept who you are, where you are right now, and what God has for you?
Oh, that's good. I definitely had moments like that, but I've always desired to walk in whatever God has called me into. So sometimes I'm like unsure of like, is this really what God wants me to do? Like that uncertainty within me, that like eats me up. But I know, like, especially when I start comparing myself to other people or other youth in my church.
Okay.
And they're doing all this and that, or they're on the worship team, or like God hasn't called me into the worship team.
Is that something you want to do?
No, I was a part of it, but not like when I see someone excel in something.
Okay.
Or like have this beautiful gift. My gifts are not the same as their gifts.
Right.
But when I see someone operating in their gifts, I'm like, oh, I would really love to be as good as them.
Yeah.
Or you can picture yourself and be like, imagine if I was leading like I would have those thoughts if I was leading worship.
See, I remember when I was in my kind of mid-20s, thereabouts, and I just moved to the UK, and I was living there, and I was watching what's going on. There was these guys who were maybe slightly a bit older than me, or maybe even my age, and I would be going, one day when I'm like them, one day when I'm like them. And I kept saying that of guys I really love who are real close friends. And I would go, one day when I'm like him. And I remember God saying to me deep in my heart, saying, you're not him.
Yeah.
I didn't make you him.
Yeah.
I made you you. And I'm going, yeah, but no. You're unique. I made you Irish because that's who you are.
Yeah.
So be Irish.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds really weird, but when you're living in the UK, you really do stand out.
Oh, wow.
Especially if you are Irish. It's like, because all of a sudden these people, they try and put on Irish accents and all sorts of things. And it's really weird. It's strange. But God really impressed on me that my identity was in him, of course, but I'm Irish.
Yeah.
So be Irish. And I love the fact that even here in this moment, that none of this is a conversation. I love this. You're just wanting to see what God does with other people and cheer them on.
Yeah.
Because you know what he's called you to do.
Yeah.
Here's a bit of another question for you, okay? How do you know what he's called you to do?
Well, I'm not here by accident.
Okay.
Like, even in, like, I know that he's called me into media and, like, production. Even with just my college acceptance, there was a lot of things behind the scenes in my last year of secondary school where I didn't think I would get into college at all.
Wow.
Yeah, there was just a lot of family sick and ill, and, like, it was at the stage where I had to, like, step up and couldn't really focus that much in my studies. So the fact that I got into this course was, like, incredible. Like, I was overjoyed. And so for me, it feels like God continuously pushes me in this direction. And it was never like, oh, maybe, like, I've decided to this. Because when I decided for accounting and finance, that never worked out.
Yeah.
So even with this internship, I didn't think I would get an internship at all, because all the internships I had applied to, they backed out of taking any interns last minute. So when I met Joel and he mentioned UCB Ireland and full access, I was like, yes, like, I really want to be part of, like, something faith-based, something Christian. Like, I was always, I don't know what it would be without doing something without God.
Okay.
So the fact that this was faith-based, I knew this is where I needed to be in this season. And I know God is just continually pushing me in this direction. So I'm going to go where he wants me to go. So I feel like every workplace or every place that I've been, God is continuously teaching me something. So I could not be in production in the next few years. He might push me somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah.
And I would be okay with that, because wherever he wants me to be, I'll be there.
And that's what I was going to say. Yeah, and that's a genuine answer, isn't it? You'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
That's, from what I've seen of you as you've been here for the 12 weeks that you're here, you look like you love life. And you just bring something about you. And I think that's probably a confidence, not an arrogance in you, but a confidence in who God has made you to be.
Yeah.
Even at your young age, at this stage. Can I say how old you are?
Yeah, you can.
21 years of age.
Yeah.
I love the fact that 21 you're going, no, I'm rooted in Christ.
Yeah.
I know this. I'm rooted. And does that come from your parents or your family, or is it all external?
Yeah, it's from family. Like, before we moved here, my dad helped build a lot of churches back home in Africa, and, like, he's very evangelistic.
Okay.
So me and my family, like, my siblings, we grew up in church. We grew up in ministry, but, like, not really. Like, for us, it was just like, oh, we're going where mom and dad's going. Like, we're going to church every Sunday.
It's normal. It
was normal to us. Yeah. And then it was like, we've never known what it was outside of church. But then when we moved here, and obviously, like, I started to go to school here, more access to technology, internet, social media, like, yes, I was going to church on Sundays, but I didn't really understand what was going on still. Okay. I was just going because it was like a family thing. Like, we always went to church on a Sunday. But I think it was like when I was like 13, 14 was when I really received Christ in my heart. Like, I really desired to have a genuine relationship. Right. And I felt like I would call myself Christian, but if someone asked me a question, I didn't know how to respond.
Okay.
And I was embarrassed that I didn't know how to respond. So that kind of pushed me to have a relationship with God.
Okay.
I wanted to be able to stand for my faith and like to know actually what I believed in, and so like I started to question a lot of things. I had a lot of people of different faiths as well in secondary school. There's like Buddhists and Judaism. Like there was so many. So we'd have like conversations, and from all the conversations I had, I knew Christianity was the one I truly believed in, and it just confirmed a lot for me. So yeah, I think did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did. I think it's many people walk their walk of faith in very different ways, and we all have different maybe struggles that have shaped us, or different ways of clinging on to God sometimes, because a lot of the time that's what we do is we're just holding on because life is hard. How old were you when you came here?
Like 6 years of age.
So still really, really young.
Yeah.
But a massive culture shock for all of the family.
Yeah, that's true.
Crazy culture shock. And of course, even in those years now, that's 15 years you've been here, you must have seen, even in your young life, a lot of changes here.
Yeah.
And have they been difficult for you or easy for you to just go, whatever?
As in changes in...
The changes in what's expected of you as a person.
I think the changes are like the same. Like since I was here from young, it doesn't, like I kind of feel like Irish, you know?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
I grew up into this culture, and so, but the expectation for me was the same. Like my parents still had a high standard of me doing well in school.
Good
and
expectation for you.
Yeah. So like there was still that standard for us to do well and to also like choose, like my parents never forced us to believe in God.
Right.
Or anything like that. Like they, like in my household, they wait until we're like in secondary school and at an age we understand to get baptized. So we don't get baptized young. We grow up in church, but we get baptized when we're like, we understand what we believe in, and it's something that we really want to do.
That's wisdom.
Yeah. So that's how I grew up anyways. And so I don't think I really felt the changes if there was, but I just definitely knew there was more responsibility and an expectation of me since I moved here.
So what about the future for Anita? What does faith in action look like for you for the future? Or do you think that way? Or do you go, no, I'm living for today and that's it?
I do think of the future, but it's always like, I doubt myself.
Okay.
I believe that God will push me in areas that I don't necessarily, I can't believe it, you know, kind of thing. I can't believe, like, I want to be in media and I want to be in production, but I don't know exactly. I'm uncertain of exactly where that's, or how that's going to look like for me, but I just want to keep striving. So right now I'm just continuously asking, like, Lord, is this what you want me to do? Is this the area you want me to be set on? Or, like, is there something else? Like, continuously walking in faith. Like, I'm doing what I'm doing because I trust that He's got a plan for me. So right now I may not know the full picture, but I have an idea of where He's pushing me towards.
There's a song, you wouldn't know this guy. It's a guy called Eric Sundin. He wrote a song and the title was Just Enough Light for the Step I'm On. Mm-hmm. That's all you need sometimes. Yeah. And that's faith in action, isn't it? That's going, today I know where God has me. Yeah. Tomorrow can look after itself. Yeah. And I'm not going to worry about what's gone on yesterday because I'm going to trust God for today. Mm-hmm. It strikes me as if you know exactly who God is for you. Mm-hmm. And even though you say you doubt yourself, everybody doubts themselves. It doesn't matter how old you are. Yeah. Everybody doubts themselves. They go through fears of going, am I doing the right thing? Mm-hmm. Is this exactly what you want from me, God? Well, that's where faith comes into it.
Yeah.
Because we have to trust him. For your generation, and I don't mean this in any way disrespectful at all, with all my heart and all my love, for people who are going, yeah, it's all right, she's got all the answers. You mentioned that when you were in high school, there was lots of different religion around.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that actually you knew Christianity was for you. You knew Jesus was for you.
Yeah.
For somebody starting on this journey,
Mm-hmm.
this faith in action journey, whatever
Yeah.
it is, for somebody your age or even a little bit younger,
Mm-hmm.
what would you say to them as something that might help them on their journey? First step, baby steps. What would you say?
Find a community.
Find a community.
Yeah. Like, I really believe that we're not supposed to do life alone. You're not, like, this Christianity is never supposed to be by yourself. It's like we're strengthened with people around us. Or, like, I'm strengthened when I talk about Jesus with other believers. Or if I don't know that much, when I'm around people, they encourage me. It's like like when I hear someone like they're like, I prayed for this and this is what God did for me. Like, that is so encouraging. And you can really, when you see God move in other people's lives, you believe it. And once you believe it, God will open your eyes to see what he's already doing in your life. So, like, for me, I love to share testimonies with my friends.
Right.
Just like, and when I do that, they feel comfortable to they start seeing what God is doing in their lives. Because it might be like something small, like, oh, I was able to pay for my bus ticket. Like, there are things like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It seems small, but it's huge.
Yeah, it's really big. And the fact, like, even those small wins, the little wins, everyone, like, people will be like, oh yeah, like, this happened to me. God did this for me. I didn't think about it like that because it's so, like, small. Like, I didn't think it was something that God could answer. But they in their hearts, they knew they were praying for, like, I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly, but sometimes you're just like, God, like, can you help me with this? And then it happens, but they forget because you're so busy with life. Life hits you like that. And then when you start talking with other people, it's like, oh yeah, he did this for me. And I'll be like, yeah. And then people just start sharing, and you really feel God's presence with amongst other people as well as when you're by yourself praying or reading the word. So I would really encourage people to be around a community, surround themselves with other people. And it's not lonely when you have other people.
Very true. Very true. In this day and age, loneliness is a huge thing.
Yeah.
How many more years do you have left of your course?
1 more year.
1 more year.
Yeah.
1 more year. Well, as we bring this to a close, okay, on behalf of UCB Ireland, I want to say to you, thank you for everything that you've done behind the scenes, for all the work that you've done here, for a lot of the social media stuff that are going up there. That's this lady. She's been doing it. And it's been a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah.
And you are a credit to your mum and dad.
Thank you.
And to your family. But also a credit to your church community as well.
Thank you.
I've spoken to your pastor, not about you, but when he knew you were coming here, he went, what a wonderful woman. What an incredible woman. And it has been a pleasure to have you here. And I'm really pleased that we got to have this chat, just a brief chat, because there's a lot more to this young lady than we'll ever get a chance to have a chat about. I need to thank you. Thank you for being you and being honest and just sharing your heart.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been great to have you on Faith in Action. So it was a pleasure to have Anita in the studio with us talking about Faith in Action. This whole podcast is to shine a light on how we can live out our faith. You don't have to be the next world evangelist or the next incredible preacher. You just have to be somebody who believes that God believes in you. You have to be somebody like Anita who goes, I know what God has for me. I trust what God has for me. I'm believing and trusting that God will allow me live out my life in what He has for me. Faith in action is simply doing what God has called us to do. And I hope that these podcasts are an encouragement to you each month. It's been a pleasure to be with you this month, and it has been a pleasure to have Anita with us. Until next time, I'm Robbie Frawley. God bless you.